welcome back to another Stitches and Scribbles podcast. I am using a different table today, so if you see this line down the middle, it's just because I'm using a different table. As you may have noticed in some of my other tutorials, the desk that I did have was getting really squeaky, and there was no way to tighten it because it had bent from years of previous use. So we're using a folding table for now until I can get something different set up. So there's just going to be a big line down the middle of all of my videos until I can find an alternative. But I wanted to start off with a couple things today. I've got some yarn to show you, some other stuff to show you, some works in progress, and some road trip projects. So I'm actually filming this episode of the Stitches and Scribble podcast very early because I am doing some travel for the holidays. Everything is safe, socially distant, everyone is isolating before we travel, all that good stuff, so that we can still see some family members that we don't see very regularly. The fact that like most people in that circle are currently working from home really helps that whole situation. But anyway, that has left me in a position where I am trying to film a couple things ahead of time before I go, because I don't want to take all my camera equipment with me there. I would have plenty of time to film, but that would mean like taking another bag of equipment and needing to have a table there to work on stuff, and it's just easier if I do it ahead of time. So yeah, I'm gonna start with something that I actually got for Christmas. One of my groups of friends did a Secret Santa exchange where we like dropped everything off and picked it up so that we didn't interact with each other, and then had a Zoom Christmas party, which was really fun, and one of my favorite things so far at the time of filming this that I've done for the Christmas season. It worked out really well. It was really fun to see everybody over Zoom. I helped with the pickup and delivery part of the process, where we just opened the trunk, you stuck your gift in, and took the one with your name on it out in order to minimize contact. But we actually used an app for that called Elfster, which if you do anything Secret Santa related, especially if there are people in your group who you maybe don't know as well or don't know as many of their interests as like a close family member might, really helpful. Elfster not only lets you make wish lists, it will randomly assign people to each other for you, so you don't have to like actually physically pull names out of a hat or anything like that. You can also set limits on who can get who. So like, for example, in our last Secret Santa, both my husband and I played, so we put a limit in it so that we couldn't get each other as Secret Santa, and stuff like that. We made sure that people who were roommates couldn't get each other, and, you know, all of that stuff to make sure that you got somebody who you wouldn't be buying gifts for normally. It also lets you ask anonymous questions. So if you need some more information from the person you're buying a gift from, you can ask them a question anonymously and see the answer without revealing who you are. So it's really cool. And it allowed me to put specific things on there that I really wanted to receive for Christmas. So the first thing that I put on my list was my very first Clover crochet hook. I asked for a 12mm because that's a size crochet hook that I currently don't have. And I gotta say, so far, I love it. I love that the handle is really grippy. It feels a little bit more comfortable for me to hold. And I haven't actually tried making anything with it yet, but so far I'm really impressed and really happy with it. So I'm really glad that I added that to my list to begin with. And I think if I need crochet hooks in the future, this might become my go-to. Usually I use metal ones from this pack I got on Amazon a while ago that just had a bunch of sizes in it, but they're just metal. They kind of look like the Susan Bates hooks, although they're not actually that brand. Actually, they don't have a brand listed on them. I think that they're like not even an Amazon brand, but like a nameless warehouse brand that's probably shipped from overseas. But I don't know, I really like this. I think I could become a plastic crochet hook person. I do really want to try Furls as well, though. I know that that's another big crochet hook company, but Furls are a lot more expensive, so I didn't put it on my list for this particular event. because our limit was 35 and I wanted to put multiple things on there. But yeah, Clover crochet hook. The other thing I put on my list was this crochet book that I've been looking at forever called Crochet Motifs. It's 144 circles, hexagons, triangles, squares, and other unexpected shapes. And I really wanted this book specifically because I've been trying to expand my like stitch pattern repertoire for both knit and crochet. And if you've been watching my Dungeons and Dragons knitting pattern series, you've seen that in my knitting skills already. I've been trying a lot of new stitches in order to add fun textures to my patterns. But for this one specifically, I've been interested lately in making a couple of table runners for holiday things in holiday colors, both for Christmas things and not Christmas things. Just because I think that they're really pretty, but I want to make them in colors specific to what I am looking for, not necessarily ones that you can just buy to put on tables. So I was really looking at some of the hexagon and circle patterns to make like little doilies and table runners for Christmas, and I'll show you what I'm planning on using for that in a minute. But yeah, I'm really excited about this book. I think that some of these would make really cute patches to add on to hats too and things like that. Yeah, I'm excited to try some new things with that book. Next on my list of stuff to show you is my massive yarn haul, and I actually realized that there's even more to the yarn haul because of some of the things that I packed for the road trip I was talking about. So part of the yarn haul will be coming at a later point in the video. I'm going to start with the yarn that's just sitting on my table right now. So the first one I wanted to show off is another Lion brand mandala. I think I've mentioned in some of my podcasts before that this is one of my absolute favorite yarns. I love all the colors it comes in. It's a really good weight for most of the projects I use. So this is in the color Harpy. It's really just gray, black, and white, but the grays, to me, some of them have almost a purplish tone, and one of them is almost like greenish in a weird way. So I just really like these shades of gray, black, and white. But I'm going to use this to make a pocket shawl for a family member who is currently recovering from surgery, and I just thought it would be nice to send her something. So I did get 4 of these. I tried my hardest to get ones where the striping matches up, but I didn't see that this one clearly has a split in it somewhere because there's a random white stripe where there shouldn't be one. These two are pretty close to matched up. This one would have been if not for that white stripe, and then I don't know what happened to this one. This one's just starts in a completely different spot, but I should still be able to get a pretty nice pocket shawl out of this and just match up the colors where I can. I'll probably do these two and then start this one, because where this one splits is the start of this one. So I'll just use the leftovers on this one and probably at the end of this one for the pockets. So that was the first part of the yarn haul. I'm literally tossing these on my bed as I finish talking about them so that I can put them away later. And 3 of the 4 just rolled off. That's fine. Second thing I got, the Lion brand mandala came from Joann's. The next thing I got came from Michael's. I think I use Michael's, Joann's, and Hobby Lobby now all equal amounts. I don't particularly have a favorite. I go to different craft stores for different things. But this is the Loops and Threads Impeccable yarn in the color Pixie Bloom. I actually got these because I was asked by a friend to make a sweater for her dog, which I've never done before, and it will 100% be a YouTube video, probably more in the I'm just trying to figure this out category than real tutorial category. But I thought these colors were so fun. This friend gave me complete freedom in picking colors. She just said not Christmassy ones because she knew I wouldn't be done till after the holidays, and she wanted one that her dog could wear right away. It is a very small dog that I'm knitting this for, probably like medium cat-sized dog. So yeah, I'm excited to try that out and show you guys the process. But this yarn makes me so happy. My favorite color is like dark green, so I don't know why I was so drawn to these colors, but I think that they're going to be really cute for that dog sweater. The rest of the yarn in this part of the haul is all from Hobbii. I took advantage of Hobbie's Black Friday sale to get some fun stuff to experiment with. I didn't really buy any of the yarn from Hobbii with a specific project in mind. I kind of just picked from what the sales were and just kind of went nuts, I guess. I was really excited. But I'll show you what I got. The first thing I picked is the Moonlight yarn. And this, I don't remember what the color name was. The one thing I don't like about Hobbii is that they don't put the color names on the yarn labels. I think this one was called Earth. It's color number 106 if you want to do it by color. And I actually kind of like that these two skeins show both halves of the colorway. So it's like purples into teals into like olivey greens and grays, and it is very, very sparkly. The glitter in it is gold. I just picked this yarn because it has a lot of my favorite tones and colors in it. Like I said, my favorite color is dark green, like dark green into deep teal. So this had that in it, but I liked the sparkle for something a little dressy. And I know I keep making shawls and I keep making the same shawl over and over again, but that's been my favorite project lately, so I might make myself that in this yarn, because I do have a couple of formal dresses that are in kind of this color palette, and a lot of times with formal dresses I don't like wearing like a puffy winter coat with it because that looks dumb, so I try to find shawls or other like kind of warm fuzzy things instead. So that might be what this goes to. Look at how sparkly that is. I didn't think that the sparkle would show up on camera, but I have the angle like just right that you can see all of it. That looks super pretty. I'm really excited about that. The next one I got, because you know, in case you missed that my favorite color is dark green, is this one. This is the Winter Glow from Hobbii in color number 5. I think on the website it was called Deep Teal, and that's it. But it really is deep teal, and it has little pops of like golden yellow and some purple and even some orange tones in it. But I love this yarn. It's so squishy. It has kind of a woolly texture, so it's not like, it would be a little itchy. I wouldn't use it to make a scarf or anything that's going to go directly against your skin. You'd probably want a layer of cloth in between, but this colorway is absolutely gorgeous, so of course I had to get it, and I'm really excited. This will probably also end up as a shawl, or I like wearing shawls as triangle scarves too, so one that's drapey enough that it can be used as both. I was really impressed with the yardage on this one, which is why I only got one, but this has 765 yards in it. And it is 51% wool and 49% acrylic, so I was right when I said it feels really woolly, but I'm really, really excited to use this. I think that this yarn is beautiful, and for me at least, this is the perfect like kind of Christmassy color, but can still be worn the rest of the cold weather seasons. I'm so excited about this. I'm surprised I didn't pack this already to take with me on my road trip, because maybe I should. Maybe that will end up going in the road trip bucket. Who knows? Moving on. Part of Hobbie's Black Friday sale was all of their Christmas yarn, so of course I had to get some of that. I'm going to start with the Christmas sock wool. I ordered 2 of their 3-packs, so you'll see the rest of the 3-pack in a minute. A couple of the labels on my order broke. I'm not quite sure why. But both of these are the Christmas sock yarn in color number 4. These have 459 yards in them. This one has a lot of cream in it, as well as a couple shades of green, a couple shades of red, and parts of it I think are going to end up not quite like the Fair Isle yarn, but it's white with splotches of green, and none of the other yarns in that pack had the like splotchy sections or speckled sections in them. And again on this one, the sparkle part of it is gold. So that's turned out pretty. These sock yarns are the ones where I'm thinking I want to make a table runner out of them, because they're a little bit too bright for like things that I would wear. But that sparkle is just too good to pass up. So these might, at least one of them might be turned into a table runner. The next color from the sock yarn pack, I have to do some rearranging so that it doesn't collapse. This is, both of these are color number 5. So this one doesn't have the splotchy green sections in the cream color. It's just solid stripes of the dark green, light green, red, burgundy, and cream. Again, with the gold glitter in it. That sparkle is just looking so pretty on camera. Yeah, this one, I think the dark green sections are slightly bigger. Yes, in color number 4, the splotchy sections, or the dark green sections were only the speckles in the cream. This one, there are actual dark green stripes in it. And the last colorway from the Christmas sock wool collection is this one, which has no cream in it. It's just the 2 shades of red and the 2 shades of green. I think this one is my favorite out of the 3, to be honest. I also don't wear white or cream very often. Actually, I don't think I own anything that is cream colored. I generally like wearing darker colors, so if I make a wearable out of any of these, this is the one that I would probably use for myself. Again, it has the gold glitter, but all of these colors, even though they're very similar, I think are all very pretty and will definitely get used for projects, if not this year, then next year. The last thing I ordered from Hobbii, I'm a little disappointed because I ordered 2 packs and they only sent me 1, even though I paid for 2 packs. So I have a customer service email that is floating around in the email vortex right now because I sent it over the weekend and their customer service office is closed on the weekend. But every time I've had to work with Hobbii's customer service, they've been really, really awesome. So I'm not worried about it. I know that some resolution will come of it. But the last thing I ordered is the Christmas Universe yarn from Hobbii. Again, very, very sparkly. And I've never tried the Universe yarn, and I've always wanted to try it. And so when the Christmas version was on sale, I just had to. This has 462 meters in it. It's 98% acrylic, 2% polyester. This is color number 22, so it's kind of more sage toned greens, but again, it has like a light sage green, a dark forest green, and a burgundy, and then where the sage green meets the burgundy, it's kind of a like brownish gray, and it has gold glitter running through it. This yarn feels very squishy and very soft, even though it has that glitter strand in it. Yeah, I love this yarn, which is why I tried to order 2 packs of the 4 colors. So hopefully I can get my other pack because all of these are gorgeous. This one is definitely the most muted of the 4 of them, which I really like. A lot of Christmas yarns are like bright neon colors like the sock yarn are, so I like that there's a couple more muted colors in this pack. The next one, this is color 21. So this is more of a vibrant red and green, and it has those pops of white in there. So it's a true like Kelly green, a bright white or a bright red, a burgundy, that forest green, and then white, and it has gold glitter again. This one is also they're all pretty. I don't know why I'm saying that like it's new every single time, but I'm so happy with these colors, so I hope that they send me the other pack. The next one, this is color 23. So this one is kind of similar to the first one of these 4 I showed you, except it also has a magenta in it, and the glitter on this one is green. I think of the Universe ones, this one might be my favorite just because the glitter is green. Even though usually I don't like pink, I've been leaning into it a little bit lately. This is a very like fun holiday color while still being in my like dark color palette. So this, once I get the other pack, this might be the one where I make a Christmas shawl for myself out of this colorway. That green glitter. Can't get enough of it. And the last one from the Universe color pack is color number 24. This one is a much brighter green, white, and red, and the glitter in this one is red instead of green or gold. So all in all, gorgeous Christmassy yarn. Really excited to use these. And yeah, so hopefully in my next podcast I'll be able to tell you that the other pack arrived. Next thing I'm going to show you is my current whips, and right now, other than the ones that I have packed for my holiday road trip, I only have 2 going right now, other than like my usual leftover bin projects that are like always in progress. The first whip I want to show you is going to be another Dungeons and Dragons pattern. I just dropped yarn all over the floor. That's fine. We'll deal with it later. But I'm working on this really pretty ribbed shawl for the Dungeons and Dragons series. So this will be the Dwarf Shawl. This yarn is very fun as well. This is the Loops and Threads Barcelona in the color Blue Ridge. So it's kind of blue and burgundy. I'll have to get that yarn ball later. It has disappeared in the corner by my window, but this is a welted rib stitch. I'll show you what the back looks like. It's kind of just bumpy, but it's 2 stitch wide ribs separated by 2 stitches of garter stitch, doing it on circular needles. That's been a really fun project. It's like just interesting enough to be fun to work on, but simple enough that I can do it while watching TV, which, as we know, is the like perfect middle ground for projects. And my other whip is another simple shawl. I don't remember if I showed this one in the last podcast or not, but I'm using a Lion Brand Mandala. I think this color was Chimera. It's a rainbow, like muted rainbow, but it's my normal triangle shawl where I did one for Halloween where it's just all garter stitch and then yarn over increases on one side. But I thought this was pretty. I am a teacher, and I think teachers can get away with wearing brighter, colorful clothes if they want to, purely on the basis of being a teacher. So even though I teach middle school, I feel like I can still get away with kind of the bright rainbow colors when I feel like it. But as I've said now like 4 times in this video, I like darker colors, so this blends with my other clothes a lot better than most rainbow yarns do. So I'm really happy with this. I wear a lot of olive green too, so it should look good with that. Alright, on to road trip stuff. So I packed many, well not many, but several projects for this road trip. Because I wanted to have a variety of things to work on, first of all, so that I don't get bored. And 2, I needed some projects that like I could do in the car without necessarily feeling nauseous. So things where I can do a majority of it without looking. I can knit by touch for the most part if it's all garter stitch or a really simple like knit purl pattern. But I also wanted to take some high interest projects with me so that if there was a long stretch where I don't actively have anything to do, I wouldn't get bored, or I could listen to an audiobook while knitting or crocheting, something like that. So the first one, because you know this hasn't made it into enough videos yet, is my human shawl for Dungeons and Dragons. I will probably work on this one in the car just because I need to get it done. Yeah. We've seen this one already. I know I need to work on it. I probably should have done this one in a thicker yarn because the pattern would have still worked and it wouldn't have taken as long to do it. But the Simply Soft just was perfect for what I wanted to do with this. It's just kind of on the thin side. So I guess I know for next time, don't make gigantic pocket shawls with really thin yarn, especially if you're not a huge fan of the pattern. So hopefully when I get back, we can actually finish that one. The second thing I'm bringing, I originally wanted this to be that basic knit shawl again, but I think I actually want to do the Lost Souls shawl from Fiber Spider with this instead. But I have 4 skeins of the Feels Like Butter yarn from, what is this, Lion Brand in the color black. Yeah, I wanted a really basic one at first, but I also have this yarn in gray, so I might do the basic one in gray and do the Lost Souls pattern in this color just for something different, which probably means I have to pack another crochet hook. Yeah, it definitely means I need to pack another crochet hook, but I thought that would be a fun way to use that yarn and a little bit more of a high interest project. The other one that I have packed at the moment is, I think I've shown this in an old haul, but it's the Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK in the color Oxblood. So the reason why I have this, and this is going to be another long story, this podcast is going to be one of my longest episodes yet, but you know, that's fine. So I was supposed to be a bridesmaid in a wedding that was supposed to be this past November. And because of lockdown, pandemic, COVID things, it has now been moved to July. But I didn't know that when I bought this yarn. So the bridesmaid's dress is a really deep burgundy. It's literally the same color as this yarn. I picked it specifically to match. But I wanted to make a shawl to go over the dress. Like I previously mentioned, I don't like wearing bulky winter coats over formal clothing, and I knew that because this wedding was supposed to be in November, there was a chance that a coat of some sort would be needed. I mean, you can never tell with the weather where I live. Thank you, Midwest weather patterns. It could be, 70 in November, and it could be negative a million, so who knows. But I was going to make myself a shawl to match the dress. Now that the wedding is in July, the odds of me actually needing that aren't as high, but I figured, it's a dress that I could re-wear. It's like actually a style that is wearable again. So I would probably want the shawl anyway, but I want to do a Virus Meets Granny shawl, which is another pattern I haven't tried yet. So that's what this is going to turn into, whether I use it for that wedding or not. And I think that's it. So I will probably pack another yarn, probably one of my new ones, for that road trip to do a simple shawl in the car as one that I don't have to look at. But I think that's it for this episode of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed all of the Christmas tutorials that were posted in December, as well as the start of our bullet journal series. I'm really excited about that. Let me know in the comments below if you've used any of the yarns that I just showed you and what you used them for, or any other post-holiday crafting stuff that you happen to be working on. I love getting comments from you guys, even though right now, I think I have 50 followers on my channel, so I know that there's not many of you, but I love interacting with anybody who leaves comments or interacts with my video in any way. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, and I will see you for the next video. Bye, guys!